So thank you everybody for coming out and you all got the road. So we're here today.
Same haircut, different hair color. Oh, different hair color. I was like, yeah, so good. Thank you. My winter look looks nice. Yeah, it is. It looks winter. I love it. What? I've been feeling.
So we're here today for the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for more revival, Poor People's Hearing Assembly. And before we get started, I just want to give our musicologist, Chelsea, a chance to lead us in a song.
I'm singing through a bullhorn. We're going to do a song called I Am Not Afraid. And it's pretty easy to pick up, so I'll just repeat it, and you guys can try to join along. Unless you know it, then sing out, please. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will die for liberation, because I know why I was made. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will die for liberation, 'cause I know what I was made. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will die for liberation, 'cause I know what I was made. One more time. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will die for liberation, 'cause I know what I was made. Woo. Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Poor People's Hearing on Democracy. What is democracy to the poor and dispossessed? That is the question that we seek to answer here today. And I want to let everyone know that we have water and granola bars and bagged lunches right over there for all of our community members. So please go and grab one. What is democracy to the poor and dispossessed? Is it just an election? What is it? What would true democracy look like? Yell it out. What would it look like? It's a way of life. It's a way of life. Where equity is not something that we have to march for. Awesome. What else would it look like? What would democracy actually look like for the poor and dispossessed? Healthcare is a human right. Housing. Education. Local community control.
Consent.
An end to state violence. Yes?
Consent.
Consent. Yes. Thank you. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So this is what we're going to talk about here today at our Poor People's Hearing. And the first speaker I'm going to invite up is here from Pennsylvania. And we're going to invite you to come and share with us what the crisis looks like right now. We've been in crisis before the election. We're in crisis now after the election as well. So we need to organize. Hello. Thank you. Thank everybody for stopping what they were doing, taking their time to come out and listen. Please do get something. Right. So I come to these with love and respect, and I just want to say, like, thank you for all the hard work that we've been doing to fight for change, to change our swing state back to blue, so that we can be winners, that we can be back, like I heard out here, in control of our local government, so we can be able to protect ourselves, have power to say what we want to be funded and what we need to increase for the people. For the people who pay taxes, the people who protect one another. For us, no matter what our backgrounds are, it's time for everybody to come together. We're poor, we're not poor, whatever, but this here is for the poor people, the struggling people, the people who are willing to put their lives on the line to see that justice is served. We say that no more will we be coming to city council crying and begging and curtsying and pardoning ourselves for our human rights. Yes, right. Thank you, council, for please letting me get up and stand up for myself and saying I need somewhere to live. And I'm not going to continuously stay
begging anymore. We're organizing. Please, if you're ready to organize, join us. Do what you can. If you don't want to vote, you want to be a black nationalist and separate yourself from all of this, well, you know what? Prepare yourself. Everybody prepare yourselves because it's getting real. 2021 is the year of abundance. It is the year of us getting what we deserve. And the only way we're going to do that is if we remain faithful and we do not give up.
Thank you, thank you. Next, I'm honored to introduce someone who's become like a father to me to speak. And his name is Leon Tyre. How's everyone today? How's everyone today? Listen, I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. I have been basically huddled in my apartment for 9 to 10 months. I have been huddled in my apartment for 9 to 10 months because I have a compromised immune system. Okay? I don't want to catch the bus. I don't want to be in the market to shop because my immune system has been compromised and it's low. So I've been trying to take care of me. Why? That's why I have not been involved with all the hate groups that I have been affiliated or been a member of. I am a member of 30 years with ACT UP. I've been a member of the Black and Brown Workers Collaborative. I'm with First Medicaid Army, Nonviolent. I'm with Poor People's Campaign, National Call for Moral Revival. I have walked from Philadelphia to Harrisburg. I have walked from Philadelphia to DC. Okay? I have worked with SKU. I have worked with Alliance for a Just Philadelphia. I have worked with March on Harrisburg. And these people are only fighting for the rights, the justified rights, and the equality that is needed of all people. I don't know how much time I got, but all my time will be devoted to fighting the good fight. Philadelphia has been fighting tyrants, and I'm feeling this, been fighting tyrants since 1776. So right now, we're fighting all tyrants that keep the people divided and separated. You understand? We are fighting for the rights for those who can't speak for themselves. We're fighting for the rights. I know what it is to be homeless. I've been evicted, and it wasn't even supposed to. I was because I also belong to Philadelphia Tenants, and we fought to help keep 270 people who got evicted because of banks and fraudulent mismanagement. I helped move those people out of their apartments. I was one of the lucky ones. I had to go to Delaware County. We talk about medical stuff. I have waited 4 months to 5 months to have surgery on my wrist because the insurance don't want to pay for it. They try to send me through physical rehab therapy. I had to push the issue with the doctor so that I can get this done. There are too many issues that are not being had. Just because Biden and Kamala have gotten office, we don't stop.
That's right.
We don't stop. We hold them to their word. God knows we had enough of the lies and evil demonization, as Joe Biden puts it, with Trump. And all those who follow behind him, I'm sorry. This is all I have to say. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Our economy is run by authoritarian entities called corporations. These corporations are not democratic. They are not governed by the people, and they are not governed by the workers. They are governed by whoever holds the most shares. They are governed by money. Their sole goal, their bottom line is money. Profit, growth, revenue, share price, money, money, money. They follow the golden rule of the golden calf and the idol worshippers throughout history. Whoever has the gold makes the rules. The authoritarian pursuit of capital turns human beings against each other. It makes us indifferent. It blinds and it deafens us to each other. As it says in Psalm 115, their idols are silver and gold. They do not speak. They do not see. They do not hear. They do not smell. They do not feel. Those who make them become like them, and so do all who trust in them. In our law, corporations are people, and they can speak freely with their money. They can speak freely into our political system with their massive amounts of money. And while I could talk today about many different corporations whose bribery and corruption make our democracy into a cruel joke, let's talk about Comcast, because we're in Philadelphia. A few blocks away, right over there, is the Comcast building. We, the taxpayers of Pennsylvania, gave $30 million so that that building could be built. We, the taxpayers of Philadelphia, give them over $3 million a year as part of the tax abatement. Meanwhile, Comcast pays little to no corporate taxes. They stash their money in the tax haven known as Delaware. Their federal tax rate is very low, much lower than the rate that I pay, even though their $109 billion in revenue last year is a whole lot more than I made. When I asked the state rep what he intends to do about this, he said that Pennsylvania needs to slash its corporate tax rate. Maybe we'll invite them back in and maybe they'll pay something. Voluntarily, maybe they'll pay something if we slash the tax rate. Who is in charge in that situation? In that conversation between our government and Comcast, who's in charge? Who holds the power in that dynamic? A massive and comprehensive Princeton study of political outcomes over the last few decades concluded, and I quote, "Economic elites and organized groups representing business interests have substantial independent impacts on U.S. government policy, while average citizens and mass-based interest groups have little or no influence." But we are told when we bring this up, just vote for the other party. If you don't like the party that takes money from Comcast, vote for the other one. Just this election cycle, Comcast has given millions and millions of dollars to both parties, to Democrats and to Republicans. It's what they and most large corporations do. They play both sides so they never lose. But that's just the parties, right? If you don't like the incumbent in the district, if you don't like your legislator, you can run against them. But you can't run a competitive general election race in Pennsylvania because the districts are so gerrymandered. They're one-party rule. We've been segregated by political parties. So let's say you want to run as a third party. Okay. You're going to need to gather more signatures than anybody in these two big parties just to get on the ballot. You're going to have to jump through some legal hoops. And lawyers who are backed by the $1 million party apparatus are going to do everything they can to knock you off the ballot. And without ranked choice voting and with closed primaries, you're going to be the spoiler. So good luck with that. But let's say that you actually do get to Harrisburg. Let's say that you do knock out a Comcast-backed incumbent. The first thing you see when you get to Harrisburg in the parking garage sign that says reserved Comcast. Right next to it is reserved Shell Oil and reserved Independence Blue Cross and down the line. When you get to your office, the lobbyists from Comcast are going to be there, waiting for you. They spend $13 million a year lobbying. Their lobbyists have much nicer suits than the legislators. They have more impressive resumes. Frankly, they're just more fun to be around. They're trying to be your buddies. And they're going to gift you whatever you want. If you like concerts, Comcast will make sure you're in the front row. If you like football, they'll make sure you have sideline passes. And they'll also give you gifts to pass on to your constituents. Here in Philly, they give out zoo tickets so that legislators can hand those out to the kids in their district. They give out turkeys so that legislators can hand those out before Thanksgiving. They could just give all of this stuff directly to the people. If Comcast wanted to, they could just give out zoo tickets, turkeys. They can just do this. But they know what they're doing. And what they're doing is buying votes. What they're doing is buying loyalty. If you are loyal, they will give you campaign contributions. They will make sure you get onto the committees you want to be on. They will make sure you get reelected. They will make sure that their public relations wing, which is called MSNBC, they will make sure that their public relations wing makes you look good and makes your opponents look bad. They will spend obscene amounts to recruit somebody to run against you. As Comcast, along with many other corporate boardrooms, controls our government, they refuse to allow for the internet to be a guaranteed public good. Democracy requires access to information and communication. Our rural siblings across the state are suffering from a lack of rural broadband, from bad internet. Here in Philadelphia, our children are falling behind because of the digital divide. Our people are suffering without access to the internet. We could guarantee internet. We could build rural broadband just like we did rural electrification 80 years ago. But Comcast isn't having any of that because it's not profitable for them. And so they're not having any of that. When Joe Biden first announced his run for president, when he first announced this, you may remember, felt like it was 10 decades ago. The first thing he did, the literal first thing he did, was go to the home of a Comcast executive in Philadelphia and ask him and beg him and his friends for money. That was the first thing that he did. I pay $118 a month for cable and internet. When I lived in Tel Aviv in Israel a few years ago, they had just broken up their telecom duopoly, and prices went from $120 a month down to $15 a month. That's the difference. That's what we're talking about. When Comcast calls me and is very nice and they ask if there's anything else they can do for me, I say clearly, you can break yourself up into 12 companies. You can turn your boardrooms over to the workers. You can guarantee the internet as a human right. But I'm not holding my breath that they're going to do that. They aren't the ones who are going to do it. We are.
That's right.
We need to organize. We need to build people power. We need to engage in deep relationship building and deep education across the state. We need to organize across every line of division in our society. We need to build permanently organized communities that are independent of the parties so that we may, in the words of Ezekiel, break our idols and bring them to an end. Woo! Woo! Thank you. So what you've heard is examples of our government trying to push falsehoods of scarcity, of they can't, we just need to believe in politicians who do absolutely nothing for us. I hope, it is my esteemed hope that nobody is holding out hope that if we leave Joe Biden alone and Kamala Harris alone, that they're going to do what we need them to do. We got them in office. Pennsylvania was pivotal in that. Philadelphia was key to that. And we need to make sure that they understand that we want something for our vote. No more of this, you're just going to get the vote of the people and you're going to look out for corporations. Joe Biden said he would enforce a tax on people making $400,000 or more a year. We need to hold them accountable. Joe Biden said that he would look into making the police system a more equitable and just system for Black people, especially Black men my age and younger. And we definitely have to hold him accountable for that. We have to make sure on the city level that we let Mayor Kenny and all of City Council know that any choice that you make that continues to leave people homeless, hungry, or not taken care of is no longer an acceptable option and your jobs are on the line. We have to elevate people that we believe will be good in these positions and doing these things and these works that come and have the background that we are looking for. We cannot continue to elevate rich people because they're not looking out for the poor. I want to do a call and response. When I say forward together, you say not one step back. Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Hello. Hi. Okay. I'm gonna do one more. This one's called "We Who Believe in Freedom Will Not Rest." Again, here. All right. We who believe in freedom will not rest. We who believe in freedom will not rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom will not rest. We who believe in freedom will not rest until it comes. So to everyone who's here today at our Poor People's Hearing, with the Pennsylvania Poor People's Campaign, a national call for rural revival. Give it up for yourself. Please come and get some food and water provided for all. You can come and get snacks, food, water. Perhaps there's vegetarian and there's meat. So we welcome you to get some food with us today. We're here to ask the question, what to the poor and dispossessed is democracy? And so, would anyone else who is here like to come and share what your experience is right now of the crisis of healthcare, the crisis of housing, the crisis of education, the crisis of state violence? Because we are not pointing the finger at other people in the working class. We're talking about the structure and the source
of the problem. We have to remember that. Would you like to come and share, please?
What's up, y'all? I ain't got too many words. To speak, but I like to express myself through art. I'm mad. You mad? Say I'm mad. All right, we're gonna talk about revolution real quick. The revolution will not be live streamed. It will not be brought to you by Backwoods or Vizine. And the drive drinking out of Compton. Kamala Harris is black as Kobe Bryant. Cardi B be dropping science when that Trump versus Biden thing. The revolution will not be live streamed. The revolution got baby dads go forefathers. Section 8 case workers with Alzheimer's. Black birds, they got wings, they got rotors. No trees in the hood, they can't perch so they hover. The revolution will not be live streamed. It will not be. The revolution will happen under your covers. No protesting with a pussy strike, brother. The revolution will not be a hashtag. If you don't move to turn West Philly to Baghdad, Mayor Wilson Good said, my bad. Breathe with me and still put them pigs in the trash bag. I can't breathe under this fucking mask. I can't breathe in that tear gas. I can't breathe with that knee on my neck. So until the revolution comes, I hold my breath. The revolution, you won't see it coming. Not premature, we just tired of humping. Tired of humming. Time to sing aloud, time to start drumming. Fuck some shit up and ask for nothing. The revolution. Is there anybody else who'd like to come and tell us what democracy means to you? See, to me, democracy means that everybody has a place to live, regardless of their income. To me, democracy is everybody having access to health care. Everybody having access to good food choices. Our kids being able to play in the streets like I could when I was a kid and not have to worry about getting shot. And usually by the cops. Democracy for me means that we see people that look like us and think like us and act like us making the rules. Not these people who want to make us feel bad because you stacked the deck against us from the beginning. Democracy for me means that the Constitution will be rewritten so that no longer will it say that black folks are only 3/5 of a person, but we are a whole people. Because through freedom, through civil rights, through the end of slavery, that has yet to be corrected. And that in and of itself is immoral. It's unjust, and we cannot allow it to stand anymore.
Once again, we are at the Pennsylvania Poor People's Campaign, a national call for more revival, poor people's hearing on democracy. Give it up for yourselves. Come and get some water, come and get some food. If you need it, if you want it, please partake. We're talking and asking the question of what to the poor and dispossessed is democracy. We have been lied to about what democracy really means. We've been told that democracy is just a vote. It's just something that happens one day out of the year. But we need a democracy for the working class, a democracy for the poor and dispossessed. How do we have democracy? When in the middle of a global pandemic, 8 hospitals have closed across the state of Pennsylvania. How could that ever be a democratic process? Close
hospitals in the middle of a pandemic? How can we have a democracy when our people are being gunned down in the streets, who are in mental health crisis, as mental health services are being stripped away? Do those sound like democratic decisions to you? No. Were those decisions made for the benefit of the poor and dispossessed, 140 million people and counting across this country? Or were they made for the benefit of the class that profits from our suffering and exploits us? We don't have democracy for the poor and dispossessed, which is why we must organize, which is why we as the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, are organizing across Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia to the northeast of the state, to the center of the state, to the southwest of the state and the northwest of the state, across Pennsylvania and across 43 other states and DC. I want to invite now someone else to come and share with us your experience of the crisis in housing, the crisis in healthcare, the crisis in education, the crisis of state violence, and what democracy would actually look like. Remembering that it is not the fault of the working class that we don't have democracy. We are not pointing our fingers at other people in the same position as we are. Would anybody else like to share what democracy means? Yeah, come on up again and then Leon. Yes.
Thank you. So democracy for me means that my children and I live together in the same home. Not fighting with other family members over space because we're all going through PTSD and we're all in a small crowded space together trying to hold each other down and make it work. We have homes that we can afford. I can homeschool a kindergarten student and a pre-K student in the same space and not have to worry about the bandwidth acting up or if the sound is bouncing back and forth. It's structure. It's control. I don't have to prep my children about who was Donald Trump and who was Biden and which lesser of two evils about voting, who we're voting for. And that's a result of a teacher talking about this with small children with no prior context being given to parents. Because we're not in control completely of how we raise our children and what they're educated on. They need the complete truth. So I'm fighting for justice. I'm working. I'm putting myself at risk for the coronavirus at temp agencies that are like miles and miles away from the Philadelphia County. Their phone services blanked out. There is no SEPTA route en route. There are more men than women, and you are not really just safe. They're not really following the codes. You see people sick, and I see families. I see elders. They give me the strength in there to keep going. Coming together, trying to earn an income, putting their lives at risk, essential workers. Packing those vans like sandwiches, going in and out, being
first. We gotta hold him accountable now. Now that he's in, we gotta stay on that ass and make him do that work. Forward together. Forward together. One step back. 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 Who are we? And all you're gonna say is the Medicaid army. Who are we? 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 Medicaid army. Forward together. One step back. 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 Who are we? Medicaid army. 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 Forward together. One step back. 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 Who are we? Medicaid army. Who are we? Medicaid army. Who are we? The Medicaid army. The Medicaid army. Forward together. One step back. One step back. One step back. One step back. Who are we? Medicaid army. 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 Forward together. One step back. 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 Who are we? Medicaid army. 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 Who are people champion? The National Front for Moral Revival. Who are people champion? Who are people This is a little ill-timed, I know, we weren't expecting this. We probably would have come different day. But let's not steal the joy, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we got a demon out the White House. There's somebody that's going to be a little bit easier to work with. Now, we're happy about it, but we're kind of having to talk here. All right, so we're all about the feeling of actually managing the life. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, the president and vice president, and making sure that Trump is up one time day. But let's remember what we're out there for. When poor people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
What do we do?
Stand up like that.
What do we do?
Stand up like that.
When poor people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up like that.
What do we do?
Stand up like that.
What do we do?
Stand up like that.
All right, so they had their joy, right? Well, let's bring it back to the more serious points on the matter. And that is making sure that we now hold Joe Biden and Kamala Harris accountable for every promise that they made. Joe Biden admitted that his crime bill from the 90s was a mistake, and he feels horrible about it. So we need to make sure that he reverses it. We need to do away with mandatory minimums. We need to do away with state violence against people. There could be no more Wallace Jr. There could be no more George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. We need to make sure that we raise hell from here all the way to D.C. to make sure that poor people, black people, young, old, homeless, drug addicted, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets taken care of. So we have one more speaker, and this is my good friend, Max Ray Reed with Act Up Philadelphia.
Hey everybody, welcome. Can you hear me all right? Hey, can you hear me all right? All right. We good now? All right. So welcome everybody. We are the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. Here at the Poor People's Hearing, we are asking the question, what is democracy? What does democracy mean to the poor and dispossessed? First of all, just want to welcome people who are here to take some food with us. We have sandwiches, we have vegan and meat options, we got fruit, granola bars, and water, so please help yourself to food. We'll be sharing food with the community, whatever's left over today. The question again, we're asking ourselves, what to the poor is democracy? So I want to welcome, I just want to welcome all of the feelings people are bringing today to that question, right? I've been hearing people say, we won. And when the people I'm listening to say we won, here's what they mean. They mean that poor people in Philadelphia who are organized, poor people in Delaware County, in Bucks County, in Montgomery County, in Chester County who are organized. Poor people all over the city who are organized, turned out to vote, and they voted against authoritarianism. They voted for someone who would be a little bit better than the other guy, right? We won because we were organized. in their celebration. When they say we won, they're not talking about the Democratic Party. They're not talking about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. When they say we won, they're talking about the power of people who are organized. We're going to keep on winning. That weren't even on the table because it's not democracy when you have to choose between two candidates who both don't want everyone to have health care. It's not democracy when you have to choose between two candidates and both of them don't want everyone to have housing. It's not democracy when you have to choose between two candidates and both of them want to continue to fund the police to have more weapons instead of funding mental health care workers, funding hospitals, and funding housing. When we say we won, we're talking about in Philadelphia this summer, when people came together and got organized and slept in tents for months and months and months to say that there cannot be vacant houses owned by the city of Philadelphia while people sleep on the streets. We put that on the table. We won 50 houses that were vacant that now are going to be housed homeless people. They told us that was impossible. They told us there was no way that could happen. We won what we were organized to take. We can take housing. We can take health care. We can take what we are organized to take. That's what we say. That's what we mean when we say we won. There is joy today. There is rage today. There is a fight for our survival. There is a fight for democracy where everybody can participate because nobody is afraid of trying to have food on the table. No one is afraid of trying to keep their housing. No one is afraid of trying to keep their health. When that's the case, that's when we will have democracy. That's what we're fighting for. Forward together.
Not one step back.
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 Okay, we're going to do the last song. It's called New Unsettling Force. It's really like more of a chant in a way. And the words go like this. We are a new unsettling force, and we are powerful. We are a new unsettling force, and we are here. We are a new unsettling force.
We are a new unsettling force
For liberation.
for liberation.
And we've got nothing to lose
And we've got nothing to lose
but our chains.
but our chains.
We'll go over this one more time, okay? We are a new unsettling force.
We are a new unsettling force.
And we are powerful.
And we are powerful.
A new unsettling force.
A new unsettling force.
And we're here.
And we're here.
A new unsettling force
A new unsettling force
for liberation.
for liberation.
And we've got nothing to lose
And we've got nothing to lose
but our chains.
but our chains.
We are a new unsettling force. And we are powerful. A new unsettling force. And we're here. A new unsettling force for liberation. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. We are a new unsettling force. And we are powerful. A new unsettling force. And we're here. A new unsettling force for liberation. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. We are a new unsettling force. And we are powerful. A new unsettling force. And we're here. A new unsettling force for liberation. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. And we've got nothing to lose but our chains. All right, y'all. Thank you so much
for being with us today. Make sure that you sign in with Kristen. She's got a sign-in sheet. Make sure that you take with you a placard that you can keep. You can put it on your wall. You can keep it with you. Put it wherever you live, wherever you are, and grab some food. Take it with you. We'll distribute all of it to those who are hungry and those who need it. But please take some with you. And thank you so much for being here. Find us on Facebook at Pennsylvania Poor People's Campaign. And you can sign up at poorpeoplescampaign.org. Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
Forward together.
Not one step back.
So, James, can you hear me?